All right, so I wanted to do a little quick update on the Milorganite trowel. And of course, we all know it works pretty good, but I had to prove it to myself because I've never used it. So we got done with basketball practice early today, and talking about that, if you have the opportunity to invest in someone's life, do it. These are 11 middle school age boys that for an hour a day, an hour and a half a day, 4 and 5 days a week, I have their 100% total and complete attention. And so that gives a lot of responsibility to me on my part, is to coach them in a good way, of course, and teach them about ethics and moral and sportsmanship and blah, blah, blah. But you also have an opportunity to really invest in their life, because you never know what problems any of those kids are having at home. You never know what's going on. So man, they really look up to people like coaches and things like that. So it's an honor and a joy and a privilege and somewhat of a responsibility for folks. So if you get that opportunity, I'm not saying be a coach, but just spend a little time with a kid. You never know how you might influence them in a very positive way. So check this out. We got done with ball practice, so I'm out here cutting. Man, that looks good. It ain't nothing like a tall fescue yard. Sorry, Bermuda boys. Sorry, Zoysia folks. I'm just a fescue guy at heart. And man, look at that turf. Oh, let's get down here and look at it. All right, looks good. Nothing like tall fescue. All right, so you remember, here's my area. 5 days ago, it's when I actually put the Milorganite down. 36 pounds, I believe, per 2,500 square foot. We flagged it off. And, excuse me. And I have been watering this aggressively, meaning, what did I water? I watered once a day for an hour and a half each per cycle. So it got quite a bit of water in 5 days. And the thing that made me want to do this video is I rode down to the end of the road and I could look over here at this spot. I know you can't see it in the picture, in the video, but it's a little darker. I think it's a little bit darker green. You notice that kind of thing from afar off. You really can't look at a spot really close unless it's just a severe difference. But in this case, it's a little bit darker green from afar off. So I got the handy dandy measuring stick right here, and we're kind of right here in the middle, in the center of where I applied this. So we got real good coverage right here, I know. So let's go right here and look. You can see the 4 inches down here. I've got multiple blades around 6 inches. And I'm cutting at, let's see how high I'm cutting. 4 inches right there. And of course, I'm not sure about the snow mold, folks. So before I get 100 comments on that, I don't know about snow mold. I'm not educated on it. I don't even know what the heck it is. So don't ask. But warm transition zones, I recommend 4 inches over winter all day long. I cut my yard at 4 inches when I cut it over winter, which is very rare. When after 2 or 3 frosts, I quit mowing to let the root system develop. But let's go back to here. Here we are. We're around 6 inches. Got several blades of grass, 6 inches. Let's go over here in this corner. I know for a fact there was no Milorganite hit over here. Now, one thing I do notice right off the bat is the areas around the outside of this 2,500 square foot, they're not as thick. It's very hard for me to prove that on a camera. I'm not going to measure the thickness of it. You'll just have to take my word for it. Have to trust me. But here's the measuring. And I'm going to say this is more close to maybe 5 inches maybe. So I'm gonna call that 5 inches. Is what I'm gonna call that. And of course, when I'm mowing, I can tell too, because when I mow and I come over this area here where the Milorganite was applied, when I get it right about here, excuse me, it starts to taper off. And then as I go down and up, I'm actually, this strip right here that didn't get any Milorganite, and even when I was mowing this area here, I simply wasn't discharging as many clippings. So I guess there's some nutrient value to Milorganite. So still, I don't think it's the end all do all, simply because what I compare it against is what we use as a company, and it's just not even in the same ballpark, and it shouldn't be. It's not a synthetic / organic custom mixed fertilizer, so it's kind of like comparing an apple to an orange. But in this case, I proved to me that, hey, it's a pretty good little application. I could really see where this would come in handy during the summertime. If you wanted to, if you're a little timid or shy about throwing nitrogen down when it's hot, I'm not, in no way, shape or form. But we'll learn a little bit more about that in the academy as to why I'm not scared. But hey, Milorganite gets I'm gonna give it a 1.5 thumbs up. Check you later.